Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to explain in a very short while how we can write an argumentative essay and the basics of an argumentative essay for for 240 class, university class. As you can see over here, I'm going to go step by step. What is an argumentative essay? I'm going to answer the question, what is an argumentative essay? How many parts do we have, or how many paragraphs can we write in an argumentative essay? The parts of the paragraphs and what the teacher expects from you. Let's start with what is an argumentative essay? It comes from the word argumentative. Evidently, every argumentative essay should have two opposite ideas in order to have an argument. So the first idea would be called a counter argument, and the second idea is the author's argument. So the author will be commenting on one topic and mentioning an opposite idea. So basically, we have two opposite ideas mentioned in the essay. Question number 2, how many paragraphs does an argumentative essay have? As you can see here, this is an academic argumentative essay written by one of our students. You have one, as you can see here. This is called the introduction. I'm going to color it yellow and call it intro. Paragraph number 2 is buddy 1. Paragraph number 2. Paragraph number 3 is buddy 2. And paragraph number 3 is buddy 3. Sorry, paragraph number 4 is buddy 3. So we have 3 buddy paragraphs and definitely a conclusion. This part is a conclusion. Now, what are the parts of every single paragraph? Let's go up together here and go to the introduction. The introduction should be made of 2 parts. Please keep in mind the introduction should have 2 parts. The first part is this. This is what we call a background. Now I'm going to color it green so you can separate the 2 parts. You can tell any kind of story about the topic, if possible. And if you remember any kind of a fact related or anything that grabs the attention in the beginning, like a fact, like a story or historical story, or we call it anecdote about the topic, go ahead and jot them down. Here, for example, the topic is about automation and the dominancy of robots in the business world. As you can see here, the student talked about automation in general, and she kind of explained about automation. The second part here is the most important part of the essay. It's called the thesis. As you can see here, in the thesis, we have 2 ideas. Idea number 1, which I'm going to underline, is the counter argument, which is opposite to the author's. Here, although many people think that automation facilitates, this counter argument is for automation, which means robots. I think that it's a way of limiting human capabilities. This is, however, the second idea, which is the author's idea. So let me here color it if there's orange. No, there's no orange. Okay, so I'm going to color it kind of green, light green or olive green. So here in this paragraph, I have the green one, background, and as you can, I'm going to separate them. Okay, but while writing your essay, do not separate them, please. And the second part is the thesis. As you can see here, although many people here will start with a counter argument, the argument that we are arguing against, and then the author's argument. Now, let's go to buddy one. In buddy one, I definitely need to write a topic sentence which we call reason one for my argument. So here, I'm going to color this olive green because my argument is olive green, okay? So here, I'm going to call it my argument, okay, or the author's argument. Let me see what happened here. No, let's go back. Okay, so let's keep it as is. I just want to highlight it with olive green so you understand that this reason one should be my argument because my argument is here. It should back up my argument. And this is explanation with evidence. Explanation with evidence. And you could possibly add an example. And here you go, you have your paragraph. In buddy number two, the teacher expects you to have another reason. Secondly, okay, another reason why you are against automation or robots. That's why I'm going to color it green, just as my argument. And the same thing here. I gave an example. Now, of course, there's something here the student has skipped, writing facts and explanation. So over here, I need to add some explanation and then give example, just like paragraph number one. However, in paragraph number three, which we call rebut, I start, as you can see here, with the opposite idea, which is yellow. I start with the opposite idea or the argument, a counter argument. I explain the counter argument. It's not only enough, it is by no means enough to just write the counter argument or opposite idea. So some people claim that automation enhances our lives. Here, I gotta explain this. We call this concession. Agree with it to a certain extent. And then comes another counter argument. Okay. And this is also the author here. He rejects this, the opposite one, which is drawn in or highlighted in yellow. Okay, of course, every time we write any of these ideas, we have to explain them. All right, that doesn't mean that this essay is perfect because the explanation is, there's dearth of explanation, which means the explanation is shrinked and it's not enough. You can go for further explanations, but I'm showing you how the structure goes. The final part is the conclusion. In the conclusion, the teacher expects you to restate the thesis. All right, here, the first part is a restatement of the thesis, which we have here. Let me show you. It is true that automation develops different domains. That's the counter argument. We're going to color it or highlight it yellow. Then comes my argument. Okay, check it out. It's yellow, olive green, just like the thesis, yellow, olive green. So what I'm doing over here is restating the thesis statement. Finally, in the conclusion, as I told you, we have two parts over here. The first part is the restatement of the thesis, and the second part is a future aspect. You could be talking about prediction, suggestion, or you can find a solution to the problem, or even write an opinion. This is all about the parts of the argumentative essay. Look how easy it is. Now I'm going to wrap up. I'll take you up to give you to go together through the points again. So the introduction, as we said, needs 2 points. A background, where we introduce debatable topic or problem. Then the thesis. Remember, the thesis could be one sentence having 2 ideas, or 2 sentences holding 2 ideas. You can check down the example. So we introduce the counter argument. We go and we introduce our argument or the author's argument. We can have them in one sentence or in two separate sentences. Body 1, we put reason 1. Reason 1, the author's argument, please. The author's argument. So reason 1, backing up the author's argument. We explain the argument, we give evidence, and then we give examples. And don't forget to use periods or full stops. You need to put a full stop so you can get the full mark. Body number 2 is almost the same thing as body number 1. Of course, a different topic sentence. And here we go for body number 3. As you can see here, I'm going down with body number 3 to explain it in details. I start with what? With the counter argument. So I start with the counter argument. Okay, I put a full stop and then I explain the counter argument. I kind of show understanding or agreement with the counter argument. Full stop. Then here I need a transition. A transition is any word which reflects an opposite idea, okay? Transition. I'm going to highlight this one. Transition. Okay, I'm going to write it here and bold it up. Okay, so you write a transition like however, on the other hand, in contrast, whatever. So when you write the transition here, refute the counter argument and give strong reason. Here we go back to the author's argument and then we give a reason, then we explain and support our argument. All right, I suggest every time you finish something, you go back to the essay, the sample essay I gave you, you check it out. Let's go together to the final part, which is the conclusion. As we said before, and I showed you in the sample essay, the conclusion has basically 2 parts. And the 2 parts, surprisingly, are exactly like the thesis, of course, with a small addition, which is the future aspect. So the conclusion has 2 parts. The first part is restating the argument. When I say restate the thesis, not the argument. I take the thesis and I put it over here, but I got to change the words. I keep the same meaning, but I change the words. When I'm done, I put a full stop and I offer a solution, opinion, recommendation, prediction, or even a suggestion. That's all. You can check this every time you go through these. All right, I want you to go down here and check every part of this essay, from the introduction, the body, until the conclusion. And you will see that even though it's written by a student, everything is clear, and it will teach you how to write an argumentative essay in minutes. Thank you very much, and see you later.